Hey guys, so I know some of you are already aware of this, but for quite a while I've been championing the drive to prove to peers in our group that a handheld computer such as this is capable of running Flight Simulator with decent performance. Most recently, with the addition of external graphics cards and third-party mods, this is now possible. So I wanted to go over a setup that will more or less work and give someone who may be looking into a handheld some peace of mind, knowing that even an older generation handheld, such as this one with the 6800U processor, can handle the simulator. So first of all, I'm going to be doing this in two sections. First, we're going to do full screen at 5760 by 1080, so that's three 1080p screens across, so that's a 3K rendering resolution. And then, due to my arrangement, we'll also do a windowed mode at 6K. So in this case, for flying, these two corners are also being rendered by the GPU. They'll show up on a live stream, but I don't want to buy any more monitors. So first, we'll stick with the 3K full screen, and I will show you some basic graphics options just so you can get an idea of what I'm running here. I'm using a third-party mod to allow the NVIDIA DLSS features to be usable on AMD Radeon card. I'm also using the frame generation. I'm not certain how effective it is compared to native NVIDIA hardware, but the performance overall, as you'll see later, is acceptable to say the least. So the global rendering quality I have set to custom. Most of my settings are ultra, others are high, items that I don't feel a need to spend resources on. The terrain level of detail and objects level of detail is where these changes really come through, because prior to this I had them turned down almost to minimum with marginally acceptable performance, but now I have both of them set to 75% of their max values to much higher performance. So as we go through here, you can see most things are set high to ultra, so I would call this customization slightly above high but slightly lower than ultra. So if we go back, I'll load up a flight really quick and we can look at some metrics. So as you can see, for the hardware while this loads, we're using the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX, and that's rendering, or that's connected to the four 32-inch displays. So we have a maximum visible resolution of 4K, and in the windowed mode we'll do after this, again, that's a 6K rendering job for the video card. As for the CPU, it's an older generation portable Ryzen, so it's the Ryzen 7 6800U, which is now, I think, a year and a half old, maybe just about 2, and it performs quite well. So we'll come back over here to the flight simulator. And the quality settings look decent. I'll do a motion in a moment. And you can see we're just under 60 frames per second. My baseline is 60 frames per second. Anything above that I feel is a bonus, but not necessary in this title. So we'll go back in here and we will get the plane rolling. And I don't know if I can hold the camera and fly at the same time. I think you're not supposed to drive like that, but they didn't say anything about an airplane. So we will see what happens if I can get off the ground. And then once I'm off the ground and I have some altitude, we can talk about what the plane looks like as it's flying. So one of the reasons I shied away from this 3K wide display is because the aspect ratio is just too wide. You get a lot of distortion on the outer edges of the display. So, but you see the quality, the image quality is actually pretty good. The frame rate is hovering right around 60, which is acceptable to me. So we will exit this flight and we'll go back into the main menu and we'll try again at 6K resolution windowed.